Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel, this beautiful day. I have a little project ready here, and I linked it in a dynamic fashion, like I show you in my more in the other linking tutorial that I made. It was actually this project, and I just took it out of my trash can because I threw it away. But view tutorial, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at the camera functions in SFML, but just go ahead and check that tutorial out in order to link this in a much better way. Alright, because I have all the library and include directors within this project and the DLLs here, so I can just send this project around. I can put it wherever I want. It will still work. There won't be any problems. One thing you have to remember is that when you get your debug in here with your exe, you have to put your DLLs in there in order for that to work. Alright, I didn't say that in that video, and the same thing with your release version. When you do it, I run in release. Let me show you this really quickly before we run with view. When we do view, okay, so I did this. It worked in release as well. Put it back to debug. Go to your folder, and you'll see that there's now a release thing here with an release here with an exe. All right, and this won't run. It will say that there is no DLLs. But what happens if I take these DLLs and I just copy them and put them into this release folder? Then this program is going to run, and that's how you send your game to people, like the made game, not your code, but the actual game executable, like a real executable. All right, so that's how you do it. Now that was just short thingy to show you guys. Now how do we work with views? Now views are really important. Imagine your whole screen being like this. Your view might be a little part of that screen, and it's going to move around on this whole world, right? And your screen and world is unlimited basically, and it might be really unlimited, and you just have a little viewport and you're going around in here. That's what you want, right? You just want to draw this. You want to have a little camera. It can zoom in and zoom out, whatever, and keep its aspect ratio, and you can do whatever you want with it, just like that. You can check the bounds and everything. Now a good thing to remember with views, just a little thing, is that when you get position, it will always be the center. Okay, this is really important. So when you want to check for a player, for example, this is the player. If you want to check it for within the view, you might not want that player to go outside the view, right? Because that might be annoying. If you want the view to follow the player, there's also a way. Now everything that happens with the view is from the center. It's not from the top left. The view position is the center. So when you say, it's gonna say view.set center or get center. But just so you know that you'll center it on a player, you'll center it on an object. But if you want to check the objects within this view, what you have to do is you have to get the view size, which is basically this thingy right here. All right, view.getSize. It's gonna be like this. It's whatever your view is called, view.getSize. And this is your .x. all right, that's your .x, view.getSize.x. remember this right here. This is gonna be your view.getSize.y. and let me draw that out for you as well. Just a little thingy right here, just like that. And we'll make more advanced tutorials on view, but this is just a basic one. So that's your getSize.y. all right, remember it's from the center. So when you get the center, you'll do view.getCenter.x, and then you'll get the view.getCenter.y. So you'll get these two here. This is our vector 2f's, meaning they have one float for the x value and one float for the y value. And to check if this player is within the bounds of this whole thing, you're gonna have to do this. If the player's top left, like right here, this is the position of the player, is greater, all right, if it's greater, or if it's less, if it's trying to be out here, if it's less than the view center.x minus, because we want to go this way. So if we get the view get center.x, it's right here. Let me see here. and let me just make that big. It's right here right now. Then we want to say minus view.getSize.x. Then we would be like far out here, divided by 2. So we'll be here, because this is half the size of the view. So we're going from the center, half here. So view.getCenter.x. Let me draw that out for you. This point is going to be view.getCenter.x minus view.getSize.x divided by 2. All right, that's how you get this point right here. All right, now that's going to be, well, that's going to be on the X. All right, it's going to be right here. Now you're going to have to check if the player is going out here. So you're going to have to check if the player's position is less than this, then you want to stop that player from going there. The same thing with this way. All right, to get this point, guess what? What you have to do, you have to say view.getCenter.x plus view.getSize.x divided by 2. That's this point right here. So you have to check if this position or this player position, the outside, this is just player, whatever, if the sprite's called player, get position.x. Now if you want, let's make another color here. If you want this position of the player, all right, if you want to check this side of the player, doesn't have to be in the corner, it's anywhere on this side, you have to do this. You have to say player.getPosition.x. Guess what? Plus player.get, if it's a sprite, you have to do get global bounds. Bounds dot width. Okay, that's it. That's what you have to do in order to get that point. So you have to check this point if it's greater than this point, view.getCenter.x divided by 2. Now I'll let you guess the y positions. It's exact same function. GetCenter.y minus, because upwards is minus, downwards is plus in SFML, minus the get size y divided by 2. So you'll get this point, and you have to do the same thing in here. So I'll let you figure that out. Now this is already a long video just explaining all this stuff, but now it's just shortly showing you what View can do. So I have a window here. Let's make a rectangle shape player, player.setSize vector 2f. Let's get 50. .f just means float. I'll say it again. It just means a float value. Otherwise, the computer has to convert it by itself. But if we set it from float, because vector 2f needs a float, it doesn't have to do any conversions. And then player.setPosition, whatever, we'll leave it at 0, 0. Now we'll make a view. View main view. Let's just call it main view. Main view dot set. See what we have? Set size, rotation. We can set the size to the same as the window size, or we can set it to a smaller size. Doesn't matter. It will show you. It will give you a viewport. If you set the viewport, I'll show you exactly what that does. So, but in a bit. So if I set the size to 1920, 1080, we have a view that is the exact same size as the screen, which is good. A camera that's the same size as the screen. Your world might be a lot bigger, but your screen size is going to be right there. And we make a player. Now, before we draw, we want to set window dot set view. Whoops. Set view. Main view. Now I'm going to take up something important here. When you do this, you get all the positions are going to be in the view, right? Like if you want to draw something, this is going to draw it according to the view. If you want to draw something on the screen and keep it there all the time, no matter on where the camera is, without having to switch positions, you can, like UI, right? You want your bars to be always in the same position, no matter where the camera moves. If you want it there, you have to set the view back. So say that we're drawing regular stuff. let's just say we'll draw regular stuff here, and then say that you want to draw UI stuff here. So then what you do is you say window.get default view, and it will go back to its default view where we always had, which it always keeps track of. So we'll say rectangle shape UI element. We'll just, whatever, who cares? Let's say it's a health bar or something, whatever. Let's call it UI. Yeah, okay. UI element dot set size. This is just for randomness, like 350.f. Let's say that's a health bar, right? And it will go from 0, 0. Oh, whoops, vector 2f. It will go from 0, 0 to there, and we'll set the player position. Player dot set position to 500.f. 500.f. So it will be somewhere in the center somewhere. But there we go. So this UI element. Now to draw the player, I'm gonna draw him with the view. All right, because we want the view. If we move the view, maybe we don't move the player. We want it to look that way, like you're moving a camera. So window.draw player. Now remember, window has been set to main view here. Now when we draw the UI elements, we want to do it after we set it back to the old view. Window.draw UI element. And then you display the window, which just signifies that we're finished drawing. Let's print this out screen. And remember, when we clear it, we'll go back and set the main view again, draw player, set it to default view, draw UI element. And if we run this, I'm going to see that there won't be a big difference in anything as soon as this runs. Hopefully it runs soon, because I don't have all day, Mr. Program. Okay, that worked. I'm sorry, it was slow. See, the health bar is right there, 0, 0, it's right there, and our player's here. Now if I did this, if I shrunk this down to 600, let's say 600, 600, it's gonna be smaller. See how this is zoomed in, but this isn't, because this is not drawn according to the view. This is drawn according to the default view of the screen, which is the whole screen. Okay, it goes from 0 to the screen size. In the view, the coordinates are different. The coordinates can go a lot to the right. It could be 16,000 something, but screen coordinates, window coordinates, are always going to be from the top left 0, 0 to the screen size, which is 1920, 1080 right now. In the view, down here might be like 20 something. So view coordinates and window coordinates are different things. Now if I set the main view dot set viewport to float rect, let's say 0, 0, 1920, 1080, then we're just gonna draw. Let me see what happens if I'm correct. No, I wasn't correct about that, but we'll make some advanced tutorial. I'll check that out, but whatever. This is the actual size of it though. So 1920, let's go back to 1080. Okay, let me run this one more time. We still have some time. Let me see if I resize this. The game will be resized. See, it's smaller because the view is always the same size. Always the same size, right? And that's good. Viewport is basically from a position, like a little chunk of the map will always be drawn. That's basically what viewport is. But you can check their homepage for that. They have really good tutorials on that. I think I can show you here. Go into SFML, learn tutorials, and then you just go into window module, graphics module. It should be here. Sprites, textures, shapes, designing. Here, controlling the 2D camera with views. Define what the view is. You can do rotate it. You can zoom it in and out. You can set a viewport. This is the viewport, so you set a little thing. You can do viewport for 2 screens like that. Minimap, whatever. You can just go in here and try stuff out. Let me close these. But yeah, let me show you how to move it. Now, if we're in here in update, I'm going to do if keyboard is key pressed. Keyboard, say A. Okay, A is going to be our left. So, wait. player dot move. So how fast do we want him to move to the left? -5 0f. Now A is to the left, right? So minus, because we're going this way, this minus. Else if we do D, then we're going a positive because we're going to the right. And then you want to copy the if, because now it's not else if, because you can't press A and D at the same time, but you can press A and W at the same time and A and S in the same time. So that's why we have one for the X, if else if, and one for the Y, if and else if. And I'll just go ahead and do that. Else if WS, these are 0 now because we're moving in the Y direction. W is -5. If you've checked my other tutorials, you should know what the hell's going on. And then S. So now we'll move the player. And remember, the view is still where the view is, so you won't see the view moving with the player. Oh, good Lord, have mercy. That is fast. Good Lord, have mercy. 0.5. Let's just do 0.5. 0.5. No, whoops. 0. 0.5. Minus 0.5. Oops, that's gonna be rocket speeds right now. Please, good Lord, thank you. Now we're just gonna move our sprite. See how it's moving? Independent. But what if I do this? What if I do this? What if I have in update, I say main view dot set center this, no, not this, player dot get position. Now remember, it's gonna follow the player now. Now we won't be able to see this because, well, we could actually if we drew, copy paste this object. This is just a random object, 50-50. It's also gonna be at 600 actually. And then we'll draw that object as well with the view. Remember, after the view, because we don't want it to draw on the screen. We want it to draw in the world, in the view coordinates. Object. So there we go. And if we, oh wait. Did I go that fast or something? We are moving it though, because that is. What if I don't do this? Let me just not do this. Okay, 600. Wait, did I actually do this correctly? Oh, whoops! I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb, guys and grills. I'm sorry. Why are you watching my tutorial? Object. So dumb. So down. There we go. We'll just say main view dot set center player dot get position, and then just semicolon, and now we should be able to end the video because it's pretty long. Let's see. So now see how my player, it's following my player, the camera, but it's not caring about this object. This object's here, and our health bar is still on top. Okay. Our health bar is still on top. Now, what if I set the view? This is just final example, final experiment. Let's set viewport float rect. This is just a rectangle from 2 points x, y to 600, 600. Let me see how that looks when we have the main view size. Okay, that looks really weird. 1920, 1080. Just an experiment, just to see what's going on. But no, okay, no matter what, whatever. You can read about that later. But thanks for watching, guys and girls. Really long video. I hope you learned something about view here and how you can set it and change them and what you have to do. They have a bunch of functions you can check out. Main view dot. They have rotation, get size, like I said, transform, get viewport, everything, reset, rotate, set rotation, set viewport, everything like that, zoom. and just go ahead and read about that on their homepage. I'll try to make a more advanced video with Vue, show you a little game made with Vue, and I hope that helps. All right, so just take care, keep learning, and if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.